Hello Aries, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using The Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan, illustrated by Mark Evans. There's Mark Evans at the bottom, there's Ellen Dugan at the top. Okay, supportive oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. I know Stacy has a couple decks, I think Ellen does too. I don't know about Mark's name, I don't think I've heard or noticed his name that much before. So if you're looking for those artists or creators and you want something else, or you like what you're seeing with the artwork, I would search them down and see what you can find. This is Aries. That's interesting. Not bad, just interesting. Okay. I almost thought there was a similarity between you and Sagittarius, but that whole situation, that would go differently for you. So I don't know why, I'm feeling some type of Sagittarius connection. So if you're working with a Sagittarius, you might want to look at that reading too, just to see if that adds more dimension to this, if that really resonates with you. Anyway, starting off, see, you have a good energy too here. I think this is why it's reminding me of this. Because you have a good energy here. Ten of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords I don't always see as a bad energy. I see it as kind of like, you know what, things are good. I wouldn't say things were perfect, but things are good. And you know what? If it's not going to make a big difference, if it's not really going to create a great improvement, leaving things well enough alone, I'm going to leave well enough alone. You got self-reflection in here. There are things around you could easily call out. They're like, well, there's a couple things here that aren't right. But you're like, you know what? I'm not into wasting my breath. I'm not into wasting my energy. There's certain things I could call out, but, you know, either one or two things will happen. Nothing. Or it'll get turned around against me and it'll make me look like a troublemaker. And you know what? Fine. Can I fight it? Yes. Am I going to fight it? I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother. And that's the self-reflection. Kind of like, I'm not going to waste my energy on things that don't help or get used against me. Because there's some people out there who will do that. You'll call them out for the truth, and they're like, this is what's actually happening. And they play the victim and blame it all on you, or they'll just smile and nod and nothing will happen. And if they're just going to smile and nod and nothing happens, why waste your time? That seems like a very developed Aries energy. Kind of like, nah. I have other things I'd rather do. You know what? I'd rather go kayaking. You know what? I'd rather go hiking. You know what? I'd rather do this. You know what? I'd rather go here. I'd rather do something I like than waste my time on that BS. Thanks. And that's a very evolved Aries energy. Kind of like, I could fight that, but I'd rather have a good time, so thanks. Later. Bye. Because it's not worth it. Literally not worth it. As you keep going forward, you see what's going on here. There's something going on here that you're just not calling out because you're like, does me no good. But you're keeping your eye on it. And you do see it happening. Other people seem to think that you don't really know what's happening. And you let them think that. You know they think that. You totally are on point with this. Like, yeah, I know you think I don't know, but I know. But you're just kind of holding it back. See, this is, again, a similarity to Sagittarius, but for a whole different reason. Kind of like, you see what's happening, but you're not calling it out, but you got your own reasons. Kind of like, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to do it. It doesn't fix anything. It's just a waste of my energy. I have better things to do. No. Meanwhile, it has a weird effect on whatever you're viewing, whatever you're seeing. It seems to be trying to be very careful not to push it too far, because they think they're getting away with it, and they think as long as I don't push it too far, you know, the Aries won't figure it out. In reality, as long as they don't push it too far, you'll just let it be because it doesn't matter. But if they do push it too far, you will say something. That is true. That is true. I'm getting that. If they push it too far, but you're like, don't give a crap enough. It doesn't register enough. It's like, you know what, whatever. Two of Swords with the Eight of Wands. There's a lot going on, things going very quickly. They're trying to keep it away from you. They're trying to block you from seeing it. They're trying to put up these boundaries so you can't see around that. You do see it though. I don't think that's working, but they think it is. You got the Strength card here, kind of like, yeah, I see it. And you're making note, you're just kind of like, how far should I let this go before I might have to deal with it anyway? Because it's one thing, like, if it's not going to make a difference, whatever, leave it alone. But if it's going to be something you have to deal with later, and it's better to call it out now rather than later, oh, you'll be right there. You'll be like, okay, we're going to call this out now, and we're going to stop this now, because I don't want to deal with it later. But if you don't think you're going to have to, you're like, okay, whatever. There's a lot of work. I'm getting, like, it's like people are doing double duty trying to make things right here. In order for you not to find out, even though you already know, but they think you don't, they're doing double duty is what I'm getting with the Eight of Pentacles. Putting things together, doing a lot of work, putting in a lot of effort to, like, make it look as nice and neat and the way you would want it anyway. Anything they got away with, I feel like they also did double duty to make up for it. So it's kind of like, I almost see you watching this and you're like, they don't think I know. And now they're tripping over themselves to make sure I never find out. And that effort they're putting in is actually better than original. Like, it's like in the beginning, I was hoping to get 10 pieces of gold out of this, just for argument's sake. Somebody was siphoning off 2 pieces, 2 pieces, 2 pieces, 2 pieces. And now they're putting 20 pieces of gold in to make up for it. I'm making out more than I would have anyway. So, I don't know if that makes sense, because I feel like that was really complicated. But you're basically making out better than you would have originally, because they're trying to hide it, and you're making out better than you would have originally. And you're seeing this, and you're just kind of like, okay, that's good. Like, it's kind of like, okay. You're almost looking at them like, why did they do all that ridiculousness? Why did they pull all that horse crap? And then just end up putting in double duty anyway? Like, why did they do that? Like, what was the point? Because it's kind of like, whatever they thought they were winning out of the situation, like, they made up for it twice as much. And you're just kind of like, okay. Like, that actually works out better. I'm glad I didn't say anything. King of Cups with the Four of Wands. You're like, this is cool. You're double checking things. You're just kind of like, is this okay? Like, you're double checking things, but I feel like you're kind of like, hey, no, it worked out twice as good as it originally was supposed to. So, okay, is what it is. You're just kind of perplexed, like, okay. You're trying to get away with the fast one, but you actually put in, it's like getting a $10 pizza and paying $20 for it. Like, okay, I got a $10 tip off a $10 pizza. Okay, sure, it's cool. That's how it feels. Kind of like, it's something like that. Like, you deliver a pizza, maybe you get $2-3, and you're like, I'm getting $10 for a $10 pizza. Like, okay, that's cool. Not complaining. Is this the 9? Yep, 9 of Cups. Everybody's cool. You're cool. They're cool. Everybody's cool. They don't know you know. They don't know you know. And I feel like you're kind of comfortable with this. Because as long as they don't think you know, it's easier for you to keep track of this. You're more comfortable, kind of like, yeah, I know you're slick. I know you're a little shifty over there. But you don't know I know. So it's not like they're going to do double duty to try to hide things from you, as far as you know. But you're like, I know where to look. I know who to keep my eye on. You're like, because I see it, because I know this treachery, cool. Because you're like, yeah, I got the heads up on it. And it's almost, to Aries, I feel like it would be kind of like a joke. Kind of like, you think you're getting the better of me, and you're, okay, sure you are. Sure you are. You got the 6 of Wands with the 9 of Swords. You're not one to play in the shadows, that's the thing. But you're making out on this situation, and you're like, I know what's going on if I just keep my mouth shut. And the situation goes well if I just keep my mouth shut. This is not how you normally do things. But at the same time, you're like, but I don't want a snake to slip past me, because when they know I'm looking, they know how to hide. Like, if you turn the light on in the backyard, all the animals know you're looking and they all hide. If you never turn that light on, but you see them with, like, night vision goggles, they're not going to run. You're going to see them. They don't realize you see them, so you're going to see what they're actually doing. Are they getting into the garden? Are they chewing up the bushes? Are they walking, and rubbing up against the car or whatever? Like, you see what's actually going on here. This seems to really stabilize. it's not, I don't know, it's weird. I don't know if I'd say it was easy or not for you to do this. Because you don't have the strong urge to say something, but it's kind of like a little bit irritating. You're like, I don't like playing this way. But, you know, it's kind of like when in Rome, do as the Romans. It's kind of how it feels. And you got faith and release and a dramatic dog. I'm sorry if you can hear him. He gets dramatic at the end of the night. He just likes to go out a lot. So he's fine. Don't worry. Release with faith. And the King of Pentacles in the environment. People that are working with you literally don't think you know what's going on. And they're thinking as long as they keep playing it nice, you won't figure it out and everything goes well. It's almost like a game to them. As long as they keep doing this, they keep playing by the rules. I mean, they're getting away with some stuff, but not really, because it's like making out double for you. And you're like, okay. It's going to kind of stabilize and it's going to cement in that way. They're going to like... I feel like they're just going to get used to it. They're not going to be as sneaky. They're going to get a little overconfident, like you're not paying attention. And I feel like every now and then it's going to get a little sloppy, and you're just kind of like, all right, this is getting insulting. Maybe I should I call it out? Because this is getting a little insulting. And you have to like kind of wonder if you really should or not. And you're, I just feel like a lot of that's going like, I don't want to screw up a good thing. A lot of time passes, and I feel like over time, it's going to dissipate in a weird way. People are going to realize they're putting in double effort and not getting out what they think they are by trying to kind of cheat the system, and they're going to get tired of it. I'm getting the Eight of Wands with the Five of Swords. It's kind of like they keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, and then they're realizing it's not really getting them ahead. Over some time, they're going to realize it's not really getting them ahead. It's not really paying off for them. I feel like it's just going to dissipate, is what I'm getting. When this finally ends or moves on, I feel like you never said anything. You never said anything, but there's certain people here that you see them for who they are now, and you're keeping your eyes on them. You got the Fool card, the Death card, and the Temperance card. These are all very strong cards. The Fool card is on your side, kind of like, I'm just going to be optimistic about it. I don't need to call it out. I already know. I'll wait and I'll watch, and if it needs to be brought up sometime later, I'll bring it up sometime later, because I'm not going to let these people think I'm a fool. I'm going to be like, oh, I saw ya, just wasn't worth my time. But if it becomes worth my time, I am going to say something. Not so far. But they'll know. If they push it too far, I'll be like, oh, I saw ya, I just didn't give a crap. But I saw ya, you were just kind of foolish. Not worth my time, so I didn't do anything about it. The Death card is like, it's literally just like this phase, whatever they're pulling, this fast one, it is going into the past, it is ending. The Temperance, it's slowing, it's like slowly ending. It's like rolling a tire down a hill. You just have to like kind of let it run out, and then all of a sudden it'll just stop moving and go over to the side. You know a lot, you learn a lot. Whoever you're dealing with, they realize that all the effort they did to pull this ridiculousness really was a waste of their time, did not really get them ahead. So that's the wisdom they're getting. The wisdom you're getting is kind of like you're seeing people for who they are. You're kind of like, you know what, if I just let people dig their own grave, cool. Cool. You know, it's like, I'm going to let them dig their own grave. That's what I'm going to do. And they're going to wear themselves out, and they can pay for it themselves. And because they don't think I know, I don't have to hear them even whine about it. Double cool for that. I'm actually getting that too as a big perk of this. Because they don't think you know, they're not going to whine to you about it because they can't. They can't, like, if they whine to you about it, they're blowing themselves in. They're not going to do that. You still seem to have a positive rapport with whoever this is. But I do feel like it's a little bit damaged. Kind of like, like you don't really like it. You don't really respect people who do that. You don't have respect for that. But you're okay with them. That's kind of how that ends. Like, that's it. Okay. So I think it's mostly about, you know, let the situation do its own work. Let these people, you know, drive themselves crazy because they're getting their just desserts, and you're just kind of sitting back and watching the show like, hey, okay, whatever. Like, it's fine. You're just sitting back and watching the show. They're like, I feel like that's the advice. Just sit back and watch the show and let these people do themselves in. All right. I think we're done. Thank you for watching. I'm going to shut this down here. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.